The last human. The alien mercenary, Jax, stood in front of the sealed chamber. Her armor was scratched, her boots dusty from a long search. She didn't usually take jobs like this, strange ones, with little detail and a high reward. But the name on the file caught her attention. Living artifact, human male, Sector 43 Delta. Jax had never seen a real human before. The species was almost gone, lost in war, scattered, or hunted. But the payment for capturing this one was too big. To ignore, she pressed a button on her wrist. The chamber hissed and slowly opened. Inside, dim lights flickered. Chains rattled. There he was, curled up in the corner, weak, thin, covered in dirt. A human. Alive. He looked up slowly. His eyes were tired but alert. His voice was dry but calm. "You're not one of them," he said. Jax raised her blaster. "I'm here for you. The warlord wants you delivered alive." He smirked. "Of course he does. Did he tell you why?" She frowned. "You're special. That's all I was told." "Yeah," he said, coughing. "Special, like cursed gold." Jax looked at him carefully. Her scanners activated, scanning his body from head to toe. They beeped, flashed red, then green, then stopped on his lower body. She narrowed her eyes. "Strange. Your energy levels are concentrated in your lower spine." He tilted his head. "Yeah, you could say the treasure's between my legs." Jax lowered the scanner. "Don't get smart. You're a job. Nothing more." "Right," he said, pushing himself up slowly. "Just a walking mystery." She pulled him forward and strapped him into the transport unit. "Name?" "Ryan." "He," replied Ryan Creed. "Well, Ryan," she said coldly, "you better behave. I don't like passengers." On board her ship, Jax placed Ryan in a holding cell. He didn't resist. He simply looked around the ship, calm and quiet, like someone who'd seen too much. Already, Jax walked into the control room and opened the data file again. Artifact, human male, organic core, marked Class X, high value, extremely rare. She leaned back in her chair. "What kind of human are you?" Outside the window, stars blinked as they jumped into hyperspace. But inside her mind, questions grew. Why would a warlord pay so much for one human? And why were the scanner results so strange? Hours passed. Jax went back to the holding cell to check on him. He was sitting cross-legged, eyes closed. Meditating? She cleared her throat. "You're not afraid?" Ryan opened his eyes. "I've been afraid for years. It gets boring." "You're hiding something," she said. "I'm full of secrets," he replied. She stepped closer. "The scans show strange readings from your lower body. Energy signals, ancient code." He gave a small smile. "Some say I was born with it. Others say it was placed inside me." "What is it?" He looked serious now. "A key, but not the kind that opens doors." Jax narrowed her eyes. "Explain." "Your boss thinks I'm a weapon," he said, "but he doesn't know what I unlock." Before she could ask more, alarms rang through the ship. Jax rushed to the control room. A ship was following them, fast, close, no ID. "Pirates?" she muttered. But then she checked the scanner. No, not pirates. Another mercenary team. Someone else wanted Ryan. She activated the shield and started evasive maneuvers. The enemy ship fired once, then vanished off radar. A warning. Back in the cell, Ryan smirked. "Told you. They're all after me." "Why?" Jax asked, frustrated. He leaned forward. "Because they think the treasure is tech. But it's not. It's me." She stared at him, eyes sharp. "Do not play games with me." "I'm not," he said. "And if I were you, I'd stop treating me like cargo." Later, as the ship flew silently, Jax sat in the dark, watching the scan results again. Ryan's DNA wasn't normal. There were patterns in it, glowing codes, ancient sequences that didn't match anything in known records. She zoomed in on the lower spinal region, There it was again, an energy pulse. Stable, dormant, but not dead. And all of it was tied to one location inside his body, between his legs. She shut the scanner off, stood up and walked to the observation window. Stars moved around her, and so did doubt. She had accepted a mission to deliver a rare human to a warlord. But now, it felt like she was holding the key to something much bigger, something ancient, something dangerous, and maybe something worth protecting. Cargo or key? You scanned me, but you didn't look, Ryan said quietly. I'm not just a body to trade, Jax. I'm a doorway, and someone, or something, is waiting for me to open. Jax stared at the scanner screen. Again, the results didn't change. The human prisoner, Ryan, had a concentrated energy field deep in his lower spine. It wasn't a weapon, not a bomb, not a chip. It was something old, something alive. Impossible, she whispered. She leaned back, rubbing her temples. What are you? Down the hall in the holding cell, Ryan sat calmly, arms resting on his knees, his head slightly tilted, watching her through the glass. Jax walked in, blaster holstered, face unreadable. You're not normal, she said, flatly. He smiled faintly. You're just figuring that out? I scanned you again. Did it whisper to you? He asked. Jax's eyes narrowed. What? The signal, he said. If you stay close enough, long enough, it speaks. That's what the warlord wants. He wants the voice. Jax folded her arms. Explain, now. Ryan leaned forward. My ancestors were human, but not only human. A long time ago, Earth had visitors. They didn't invade, they modified. Modified? They changed a few humans, just a handful. They placed codes inside our bodies, buried deep, not in brains, not in hearts, lower, hidden where no one would look, unless they were very curious. Jax looked disturbed. And this code, it's still active? He nodded. Barely. Until recently. Jax didn't like mysteries. She liked facts, targets, credits. But Ryan wasn't fitting in any box she understood. You're not lying, she said. No. And that scares you, he replied. She returned to the bridge and pulled up all data about Sector 43 Delta, where she'd found Ryan, an old Earth colony, destroyed years ago, no survivors listed. But near the edge of the system, ancient ruins had been found. Some believed those ruins were alien. Ryan had survived there. Alone. For weeks. Maybe more. Jax leaned forward. Not cargo, she muttered. He's something else. That night she checked on him again. He was sitting in silence. She opened the cell door and stepped inside. If I take you to the warlord, she asked, what happens? He'll try to open the code, Ryan said. He'll use machines, pain, pressure. Will it work? Ryan shook his head. No. It only opens by choice. It's locked to my will. And if you refuse? He looked at her. They'll kill me. Or worse. Jax paced the room, thinking, why didn't you tell me sooner? Would you have believed me? She didn't answer. Suddenly, a warning flashed on her wrist. Unmarked ship approaching. No signal. Full speed. She ran to the control panel. The radar showed a fast-moving object behind them. Not pirates, not patrol. A hunter. Jax activated stealth mode. Engines silent. Lights off. She watched as the other ship slowed near her trail, then passed. Just watching. Just waiting. They're tracking him, she whispered. Back in the cell, Ryan had already stood up. You felt it too? She asked. He nodded. I always do. They follow the code like insects follow light. Who are they? Some want to study it. Others want to destroy it. Jax stared at him. And what do you want? He walked to the glass. I want to choose what I become, Not be sold, not be used. She stared at him for a long moment. Then she unlocked the cell. Ryan blinked. You're letting me out? She tossed him a small vest. Not free, just walking. Hours later, Ryan stood beside Jax on the observation deck. Stars glittered across space. The tension between them was quieter now. Why me? She asked. What do you mean? Why did the code choose your body? Ryan shrugged. Wrong place, right time. Maybe luck. Maybe fate. She glanced at him. I don't like fate. He smiled. That's why I trust you. Her eyes narrowed. Don't. Not yet. As the ship drifted silently toward the next planet, Jax pulled up a new location. A secret vault built inside a dead moon. Rumors said it was ancient, tied to lost alien tech, and something told her that's where the key would finally turn. And if Ryan was truly what she feared and hoped, then the real test hadn't started yet. Ambush on Hollow Rock. As soon as the ship touched down on Hollow Rock, Jax felt it. Something wasn't right. Ryan whispered, We're not alone. The dust outside shifted, and shadows began to move. The planet was dry, dusty, and cold. Locals called it Hollow Rock, an old mining world filled with abandoned tunnels and forgotten tech. No laws, no questions. The perfect place to hide, or to be hunted. Jax's ship landed on a flat stone ridge near a broken comms tower. Rusted metal lay everywhere and whined blue-red dust in swirls. Jax tightened her gloves. We won't stay long. I know someone who might help us understand what's inside you. Ryan stepped down behind her. So we're trusting strangers now? Only the kind that owe me favors, Jax replied. He smiled faintly. That's a dangerous kind of friend. They entered a tunnel that led to an old outpost carved into the rock. Inside, the air was thin but warm. Faint lights flickered as old machines hummed with weak power. A tall, thin alien with glowing skin stepped forward. Zeroth, Jax said. Mercenary Jax, the alien replied. Didn't think I'd ever see you again. I need information, she said. Fast, quiet, off-grid. Zeroth looked at Ryan, his eyes narrowing. That's the human artifact? Ryan raised a brow. Still standing right here. Zeroth nodded and waved them in. Follow me. Inside the back chamber, old scanners lit up. Ryan stepped into the circle as Zeroth adjusted the settings. He has something, Zeroth said slowly. Something buried deep. It's not just genetic. It's coded energy. Old. Powerful. Jax asked. Can you read it? Zeroth shook his head. No. But it's waking up. Ryan frowned. Waking up? Zeroth leaned in. Your body was built to carry it, but something has changed. The signal is active now. Other forces will feel it. Suddenly, the lights blinked red. Outside, a siren echoed. Jax pulled her blaster. What is that? Zeroth ran to a screen. Another ship just landed on the ridge, 3 life forms armed. Jax's face hardened. We've been followed. Ryan stepped forward. It's not a coincidence, they're tracking the signal in me. Then we finish this now, Jax said. Outside, wind howled as the enemy approached. 3 figures in black armor moved through the dust with slow, trained steps. They didn't speak. Their helmets glowed red. Jax pushed Ryan behind a metal slab. Stay low. Only shoot if you must. Ryan nodded. Understood. The first shot came fast. A plasma bolt hit the wall above Jax's head. She rolled and fired back. Clean. Shot to the enemy's shoulder. They kept coming. Zeroth ducked behind a crate, shouting, They're not here to talk. Jax blasted again, taking out the second one's leg. The third aimed at Ryan. Ryan stood up, eyes glowing faintly. Then something strange happened. As the enemy fired, the blast froze midair, hovering inches from Ryan. He raised his hand. The energy twisted, then flew backward, slamming into the attacker. Jax's eyes widened. You caught the blast? Ryan looked at his palm. I didn't mean to. Zeroth whispered. The code is active now. The fight ended in minutes. The attackers lay unconscious or dead. Jax walked over to one of them and pulled off the helmet. Not human. Not alien, she recognized. They're not mercs, she muttered. They're harvesters. Who? Ryan asked. Warlords private, soldiers, she said. They extract, break people down, find what's hidden. Ryan's face darkened. They came for me. Jax looked at him. And they'll keep coming. Until you use the key. Or until you die. Later, back on the ship, Ryan sat silently, staring at his hands. Jax brought him water. You okay? He nodded. I didn't know I could do that. Control energy. I've felt it inside me. For years, like something waiting to wake up. But I never tried to touch it. I thought it would kill me. She sat across from him. It almost did. They both laughed, a quiet moment between the storm. Then Ryan grew serious. Whatever's in me, it's not done. It wants to go somewhere, like a lock calling to its door. Jax opened the nav screen. A single location blinked in blue, Vault Site Theta, on a dead moon near the outer rim. She looked at him. Then let's find the door. The locked vault. The vault door had no handle, no panel, just smooth black stone, until Ryan stepped forward, and it began to glow, from the center of his body outward. The moon was dead. No air, no light. Just rock and shadows. Jax's ship hovered near the surface, guided by hidden signals that pulsed from below. Her fingers moved across the controls, scanning for any threat. There was none, not yet. Ryan stood beside her, suited up. He looked calm, but his body trembled slightly. Whether from the cold or something deeper, he wasn't sure. Vault Site Theta, Jax said, pointing at the ridge. It's under that cliff. They landed silently. The wind outside carried, no sound, just dust. They stepped out together. Their boots crunched over ancient metal and black stone. In front of them, half buried in the moon's skin, was a door. Not just any door. It was tall, wide, and completely smooth. No cracks, no buttons, no way in, just a single circular pattern carved in the middle. Jax pulled out a tool and scanned it. It's like it's asleep. Ryan stepped forward slowly. The circular pattern began to glow, a soft blue light, pulsing like a heartbeat. Jax stepped back. It's reacting to you. Ryan placed his hand over the circle. The glow spread. Then, without a sound, the entire wall melted, vanished into thin air. Inside was a tunnel of light and metal. Strange. Writing covered the walls, glowing faint gold. Jax whispered, It's older than any tech I've ever seen. Ryan walked inside, drawn forward like the tunnel was pulling him. Jax followed. Deep inside, they found a chamber. At the center stood a tall pod, or throne, or maybe both. Behind it, glowing rings floated slowly, circling the chamber like a clock, made of stars. Jax scanned everything. Energy levels are rising, it's charging up. Ryan stared at the pod. He reached out, and when his hand touched it, pain. He dropped to his knees, gasping. His skin burned. His spine lit up with a glowing line from his lower back to his neck. The room shook. Jax ran to him. Ryan! I'm fine, he gasped. It's connecting. She helped him stand. This place was made for you. No, he said softly. For what's inside me. A voice echoed from the walls. Ancient, digital, female, biocode matched. Welcome, Prime Carrier. Lights exploded across the chamber. Panels rose. Holograms activated, showing stars, wars, lost civilizations. Jax stood in awe. What is all this? Ryan walked to the center. It's a memory, a record. The holograms zoomed in on Earth, then zoomed out to show ancient ships far older than any known species, visiting Earth's oceans, forests, and skies. Humans were chosen, the voice said. Modified, a seed of potential buried deep, a key to balance hidden in flesh. Ryan touched his chest. The code wasn't a weapon, it was knowledge. Locked in blood, passed down for centuries. Jax looked at him. Then why now? Why is it waking? The voice answered. Because the galaxy is unbalanced. Too much war. Too much hunger. It is time to choose a new path. The pod opened. Inside was a seat. Ryan hesitated. Jack stepped forward. You don't have to, he looked at her. But I do. It's why I survived. Why I was hunted. Why we met. She reached out, placed a hand on his shoulder. If you go in, you might not come back the same. I know, he said, but maybe I'll come back better. He sat. The pod closed. Energy surged. Jack stepped back as the room filled with light. For 5 minutes, everything was silent. Then the pod opened. Ryan stepped out. His eyes glowed faint gold. Mark shimmered on his arms. The air around him hummed. Slightly. He smiled. I remember everything. Jax tilted her head. Everything? He nodded. Not just mine. The memories of thousands. Carried in the code. Sleeping in me. She stared. And now? He looked up. Now the vault is open. And the galaxy just changed. Back on the ship, Jack sat across from him. Are you still Ryan? He laughed softly. I think so. But more. She handed him water. So what do we do now? He looked at the stars outside. We don't run anymore. We lead. Between flesh and power. Ryan was shaking. His body glowed with strange golden lines. Jax watched from across the room, hand near her blaster. He looked at her and said softly, I think I'm not fully human anymore. The ship floated quietly through deep space. Jax sat near the control panel watching Ryan on the screen. He was in the med bay, sitting on the floor, bare arms glowing faintly in the dark. It had been 2 days since the vault, since he sat in the pod, since he changed. She didn't know what he was anymore, and neither did he. In the med bay, Ryan touched the side of his neck. The skin felt hot. Patterns shimmered beneath the surface, circles, lines, symbols that shifted when he moved. He could hear things now, small sounds, the hum of the engine, the beat of Jax's footsteps. He could feel gravity pulling slightly off balance. He could see things in the dark without light. It was like his senses had been sharpened, but it wasn't just physical. He also felt connected to something bigger, to something watching him from inside. He closed his eyes and saw stars. Jax walked in quietly. He didn't look up. You're changing, she said. I know. Fast. He nodded. It's speeding up. Whatever they put in me, it's not just waking, it's evolving. She sat down a few feet away. You're calm about it. I'm terrified, he said, but also focused. Like my mind isn't mine alone anymore. She studied his face. You still feel human? Ryan finally looked at her. I feel more than human, he said, but I don't know if that's a good thing. Later, they checked the ship's systems. Ryan stood near the engine core. His hands hovered over broken wires. The console was dead. Then, it blinked to life without touching it. Jack stared. You didn't fix it. I just thought about it, he said. She frowned. That's not normal. He stepped back. I know. She crossed her arms. Are you controlling machines now? Not control, he said. More like understanding them. Ryan, she said firmly, we need rules, boundaries. I'm not letting this get out of hand. He nodded. I trust you. She wasn't sure if that made her feel better or worse. That night, Ryan stood alone in the observation deck. His eyes reflected the stars. Jax joined him. Do you remember what you said? She asked. That the code only works by choice? Yes. So, all of this was your choice? He was silent for a long moment. Then he said, No, not all of it. Some of it was survival. Some of it was fate. He looked at her. But this moment, me, standing here with you, that is my choice. Jax didn't smile, but she didn't look away either. You're becoming something powerful, she said, and that scares you? It would scare anyone. He nodded. Then stay near me. You're the one person I trust to stop me. If I ever go too far, her voice dropped. And what if I can't? He stepped closer. Then I'll stop myself. But I don't want to walk this path alone. She looked into his glowing eyes and saw someone still human, still Ryan, at least for now. Suddenly, an alarm rang. Incoming transmission. Unknown vessel, high energy signature. Jax turned to the screen. A large warship appeared, Warlord Fex's symbol on its side. Ryan stepped beside her. They've found us. Jax's voice went cold. He wants what's in you. Ryan's skin lit up with gold. Then let him come. Showdown at Titan Core. The warship hovered above the Titan Core. Inside the control room, Jax stared at the screen. Fex won't talk, she said. He came to take what's inside you. Ryan answered, Then it's time I show him what it really is. The planet was cold and metallic. Titan Core, once a mining colony, now an empty shell orbiting a dead star. Warlord Fex had claimed it long ago, turning it into a weapons base. Now his ship sat above it, casting a dark shadow across the gray surface. Jax's ship landed near the ruins. Inside the cockpit, Ryan tightened the straps on his gear. He didn't wear armor. He didn't need it anymore. The marks on his body glowed, steadily, like golden tattoos under his skin. Jax checked her blaster. This place is crawling with soldiers. Ryan looked calm. I can feel them. She narrowed her eyes. Feel? They're angry, hungry, ready to break anything that stands in their way. Jax looked at him. Including you. He nodded. That's why we ended here. They entered through an old tunnel, Jax leading, Ryan close behind. Inside, lights flickered. Machines sparked. Soldiers patrolled above. Jax signaled Ryan to stay hidden. But he didn't. He stepped into the open, and the lights changed. They grew brighter, warmer. The walls vibrated with a strange hum. Soldiers raised their weapons, but none fired. One by one, they froze, paralyzed by something they couldn't see. Ryan looked at them. They're scared. Jax stepped forward. Keep moving. Fex won't freeze. Inside the control chamber, Fex sat on a throne of iron and bone. Tall, armored, cruel eyes glowing red. He stood as Ryan entered. Finally, Fex said, voice deep and sharp. The treasure speaks. Ryan didn't respond. Fex stepped closer. You have something ancient, something powerful, and I will have it. Jax aimed her blaster. Step back, Fex laughed. You think you can stop me? No, Ryan said. But I can. Fex smiled darkly. Then do it. Show me what's between your legs, human. Ryan closed his eyes. The marks on his body ignited, gold light pouring out in waves. The walls shook. The air thickened. Machines shorted out. The energy formed a glowing field around him. Fex stepped forward and punched. The hit never landed. A wave of light exploded from Ryan, throwing Fex across the room. Soldiers screamed as the walls cracked. Jax pulled Ryan aside. You'll burn this place down. Ryan opened his eyes, bright like suns. I am not a weapon, he said, but I am done hiding. He raised his hand. The ground split open. From beneath the Titan core rose, an orb of pure energy long buried. It pulsed once and connected to Ryan. Fex stood, bleeding, furious. You're mine. No, Ryan said. I was never yours. He unleashed the core. A beam of gold light struck Fex directly, lifting him into the air. The warlord screamed, then vanished. Gone. The room fell silent. Later, Jax and Ryan stood outside watching the sunrise from the planet's edge. "What now?" she asked. Ryan looked at the sky. "Fex is gone, but others will come." "You're a beacon now," she said. "I know," he replied. "But I'm ready." She looked at him. "You changed." He nodded. "So did you." She smirked. "I still don't trust Easy." He smiled. "Good. Then we'll keep each other sharp." As the sun rose, the Titan core floated behind them, still glowing, still alive. Ryan touched Jax's hand. "I want to build something new," he said. "Not destroy, not run, something better." She looked at him, eyes serious. "Then I'm staying." They turned to their ship. 2 warriors, 1 human, 1 alien. Not heroes, not gods, but something stronger, together. The treasure within. Jax leaned on the rail of the ship, staring at the stars. "So, what are you now?" she asked. Ryan stood beside her, golden light softly glowing beneath his skin. He smiled. "I think I'm still me. Just more." The battle was over. Fex was gone. The Titan core was sealed again, hidden under Ryan's control. And the galaxy had changed. Word spread fast. Some feared Ryan. Others wanted him as a leader. A few called him a god. But Ryan didn't want a throne. He wanted something real. And so he chose silence. For now, Jax sat in the pilot's chair of her ship running diagnostics. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. She hated quiet. Then Ryan walked in, barefoot, relaxed. She glanced up. "You glow in the dark now," he chuckled. "Only when I'm thinking hard." She studied him. "You look normal, but you're not. I'm still human," he said. "Just updated." She raised an eyebrow. "Are you going to become a walking legend?" "No," he replied. "I just want to help quietly, carefully." Jax nodded slowly. "You don't owe the galaxy anything." "I know," he said. "But I owe myself. And I owe you." She tilted her head. "Me? You pulled the trigger when no one else would. You believed I was more than a target, more than a trade." Jax leaned back. "I'm not soft, Ryan. I was just curious." He smiled. "That curiosity saved my life." They flew for a week without destination. No missions, no messages. Just space, stars, peace. But peace never lasted. A call came through, a faint distress signal from a nearby system, an old station on the edge of a dying sun. No one else answered. Jax looked at Ryan. "Should we?" He smiled. "Feels like the right thing." They landed quietly. The station was cracked and broken, filled with survivors, engineers, miners, families. Ryan stepped forward. When he touched the station core, the failing systems lit up. Power returned. Oxygen flowed. People stared. He didn't say a word. He just fixed what was broken. Jax watched from the hallway. She saw the way people looked at him, not with fear, but with hope. She had seen soldiers, kings, warlords. But this was different. That night, she stood beside him outside the ship, staring at a red planet in the distance. "So," she said, "do you ever miss your old life?" He shrugged. "It wasn't much of a life." "You could have run," she said. "After Fex, after the vault." "I know." She looked at him. "Why didn't you?" He turned to her, voice calm. "Because I found something better." She raised an eyebrow. "A power core inside your DNA?" He shook his head. "You." She blinked. For once, Jax had no words. Ryan stepped closer. "All my life I thought I was made for something big. A weapon, a key, a curse. But now," he said softly, "I think the real treasure Was learning I don't have to be any of those. Jax didn't look away. You're a strange man, Ryan Creed, she said. Yeah, he smiled. But I'm your strange man. She smirked. Let's see how long that lasts. Final scene. In the stars above, a dozen signals blinked. Worlds in need. Secrets to uncover. People to protect. Ryan stood at the ship's edge, light in his hands, power under his skin, but peace in his heart. Jack stood beside him, blaster ready. Always watching. They weren't just partners. They were balance. Power and protection. Flesh and light. And as they flew into the stars, Ryan whispered, "Let's go fix the galaxy." Jax replied, "Only if I get paid." And the ship disappeared. Into the night, carrying the strangest treasure the universe had ever seen. A man with gold in his blood, and a woman who guarded it with fire. Together, forever.